Johnnie Roberts, we are back for another baseball edition of your podcast. How are you today?
I am doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing very well. It's a
Back
great
to the
day.
original D,
I was
the
gonna
old
say we
D.
got the Tigers hats again. You're just rotating these things, which is great.
Yes,
I don't wear
I
baseball hats. I wear fedoras, but I've got three or four fedoras that I just rotate through. So very similar to you. I like it.
that's cool.
It's great. A fedora helps me make a statement. When I go to a conference or something, I'm about the only guy who wears a fedora, and it's easy for people to say, "Hey, there's that guy. Go talk to the guy with the hat on."
That's quite a
Um,
statement.
but I think in retirement we want to make a statement as well, but we don't want to have a statement retiree. And what I mean by that, Johnny, is I think there's a lot of people who, for the retirement plan, they wait for the quarterly statement to come in from their investments, and they look at it and see what numbers there, and they go, "Ah, I'm okay because I have a number on my statement." That's what I mean by a statement retiree. We don't want to be a statement retiree. We want to have an actual plan. So, talk a little bit about the difference between the number that's on your statement and having a plan.
Yeah, a statement is a piece of paper and it's numbers, like you said. That's what it is. But there is there, what do those numbers mean? What is that money for? How much of it is actually yours
Yeah.
versus Uncle Sam's? What will it do for you if XYZ happens to you? How does it impact your wife, husband, kids, grandkids, all those things? So just looking at that doesn't answer questions. It just, okay, this is what I have to work with now. What am I going to do with this? You know what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
once again, people, like you said, they get their statements and we take a look at them when we meet with clients. We want to know what do they have, how's it invested, what's going on with it, and based on your age and where you're at, what's proper for you? What's the recommendations that you need to be utilizing? What's this money for? Don't just have it numbers on paper,
Right.
or if you get it emailed to you, the same thing. Don't just let it be numbers on your computer screen. Let's make that money work for you, have a purpose behind really every dollar of it,
Yeah.
to um, accomplish a bunch of different things maybe you don't even think you need, but then you realize, oh my goodness, there are things that are here that I need help with. So don't be a statement only retiree, you
That's
know.
right. Yeah. We want to, because in retirement, you've worked all of your life, you've saved all of this money, but in retirement, you want to make a statement. You want to do things that you've been dreaming about doing. Maybe it's going to Hawaii. Maybe you mentioned, Johnny, in one of the episodes recently, you're taking your in-laws to Hawaii for their 50th. I mean, that's making a statement. That's
And my
doing
bro, I should
something.
say, and my brother-in-law and his wife too. We're all
Yeah.
pitching together but we get to go with them. So
I
yeah,
think that's
a team
great.
effort.
Right? But this is what people want to do in retirement, and you can do that. It's totally possible for most people, but you need a plan to do that, and you need to know where you're going to be taking the monies from which accounts, and are you protected? And your statement doesn't tell you all of that. And so a statement, a number is good, but it doesn't have purpose behind that number. That's I know you talk a lot about having purpose in retirement and putting purpose behind your money. And a statement just doesn't do that. It's just there it is. It's kind of like the Tiger saying we have a baseball game on Saturday. Great, but you
Yeah,
got to put a
let's
lot
do
more
it.
behind that, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, your whole life is revolved generally for most folks around planning, right?
Yeah.
I'd like to get a house then. I'd like to get a new car here. I'd like to save money to go on this trip. I want to work this many years. All that type of stuff. I want to have kids here. I want my kids to be involved in this or whatever it may be. Our whole life generally revolves around some type of planning for most people. And then we get to the end of those quote unquote working years, the golden age. And a lot of times there's no plan. It's just kind of like a leaf in the wind, and floating around out there. And we just are totally focused on the numbers. What the numbers will do for you is either make you smile or frown. That's it,
Oh,
right?
that's
You see,
good.
oh, this is great. I'm happy. Or, oh my goodness, But if you have a plan in place
Yeah.
and you have money with a purpose, what you're going to do with it, you really don't have to worry about smiling or frowning because you
Right.
know, hey, no matter what happens, if it goes up, things are great. If
Yeah.
it goes down and there's problems, I still have my situation covered because I plan properly
Right.
for that very reason.
Yeah.
know?
Exactly.
So, um,
And
a lot of
well,
people
and
love statements and looking at them, but that's not the end all be all for the next 30 years of your life, 25 years, whatever it may be.
yeah, it reminds me. I mean, we've been talking baseball because the Tigers have been on a streak, but it's the difference between saying did they win or did they lose, and the excitement of being in the game and saying, "Hey, I've got a guy on first and second, right? And this third guy coming up, he's going to do this." And it's looking at, okay, I've got a bundle of money. I'm in the game, but how am I going to protect it? How am I going to make it last that long runway that we talked about last time when we were talking about planes and things? How am I going to make sure that I've got my bases covered? So that's the defensive strategy of making sure I'm preparing for increased taxes, increased inflation, Social Security changes, health care changes. All of those have to be factored in as you the manager of the team per se. You're sitting here talking to your teammates, your clients. Go, here's what's going on. Okay, we just had a tax increase. Okay, great. Here's how we're going to do that. We've been planning for that to come, and it's being nimble. I guess is the I don't know if that's the right word or not, but having a retirement plan allows you to be more nimble when the time comes. Is that fair?
Yeah, nimble, versatile, right?
Yeah,
Versatile, all those type of things where if this happens, I can work with it. I can still get through this, because I'm grounded properly, I guess would be a good
yeah,
one.
yeah,
So when the winds come and the storms blow, man, I'm still going to be there standing at the end of it, um, because I've got my feet grounded in the right things, in
yeah,
this case, financially, retirement wise. So that's huge. And it's not, back to baseball kind of thought is that like, man, people love seeing the home runs and the hits and all that kind of stuff because defense and pitching maybe isn't as exciting,
right.
but you still need it to be successful. So, um, having that grounded base that you're going to be in, that where your feet are solid and you can get through all kinds of different things. And so it's the same principles of all part of life. It
Yeah,
really is. Spiritually, are your feet grounded in what you believe and what you need in to withstand illness, sickness, maybe deaths, loss of jobs, struggles emotionally? Are your feet grounded to withstand that? Are your feet grounded financially to withstand the things that can come your way? Have you planned properly,
yeah,
in those areas to withstand the markets, overseas problems, wars,
yeah.
different administrations? Heck, look at
Right.
the COVID a few years ago, something like
Hmm.
that, that we never thought that would ever happen
Oh yeah, a worldwide shutdown. Um,
in this day and age, how it
yeah,
affected everything so much.
yeah, and everything you just listed there does not show up on your statement. And that's why you don't want to be a statement retiree. You want to have that statement, but that statement just simply informs the conversations you have with Johnny and his team. It helps us understand the purpose behind that money. How are we going to take an offensive strategy and a defensive strategy to make sure that you retire at new heights, you win the game, and you have the retirement that you've been dreaming of for a long time? The statement is there because you've worked so long to put that money away. That's why the statement is there and that number. Let's let's make sure that you're going to protect that money with the right strategies so that it's there for that very long retirement that we've been talking about. Is most people 20, 30 years in retirement. That's a long time. And unless you set things up well, that statement is going to dwindle pretty quickly, and that's not what we want. So that's why Johnny wrote his book Retire at New Heights. You can get a free copy at his website, retireatnewheights.com. And you can also schedule a call to talk with Johnny and his team, and just have these conversations around flying and around offensive and defensive and baseball. And you might just want to bring your statement so that Johnny will help you make a statement.
Bring the statement.
Yeah. So Johnny, it's been a fun episode. I look forward to coming back next week and seeing what kind of Detroit Tigers hat you have on then, and talking more about having a great retirement plan so your clients can retire at new heights. Take care, my friend.
You too. Thanks.